Wild Hogs in America. A tale of chaos, chuckles, and epic battles. Wild hogs, also known as feral pigs or boars, Suscrofa, aren't just a headache for the United States. They're the rock stars of destruction, turning cornfields into war zones and farmers' dreams into nightmares. These troublemakers aren't native to America. They're uninvited guests from Europe who decided to throw the wildest party ever in the land of the free. With an estimated 6 million hogs rampaging across 35 states, Texas being their unofficial capital, aka Hogzilla Central. Their story is equal parts epic and downright hilarious. So, buckle up as we dive into the origins of these wild hogs, the chaos they unleash, and how humans are trying to tame these bad boys of the backwoods. With a few laughs along the way to keep things light, where did these hogs come from? A comedy of historical errors. Wild hogs didn't just sprout up in America like dandelions. They're the result of some laughably bad decisions from centuries past. The saga kicks off in 1493 when Christopher Columbus, the OG explorer, brought 8 pigs from Europe to Cuba. The plan? Raise them for bacon to feed his crew. But these pigs had other ideas. They weren't about to be anyone's pork chop. They bolted, launching their own great American hog venture before humans even got their bearings. Picture Columbus staring at his empty pig pen, muttering, "Well, I guess I just unleashed an ecological disaster. Oops." Fast forward to the 16th century, and another Spanish explorer, Hernando de Soto, decided to up the ante. In 1539, he hauled pigs to Florida, thinking, "These'll be great for snacks on our road trip." Spoiler alert, pigs don't play nice. Some escaped, others were left behind when his expedition fell apart. These runaway porkers turned into wild warriors, breeding faster than a viral TikTok trend. If De Soto were alive today, he'd probably shake his head and say, "Why didn't I just stick to beef jerky?" The plot thickens in the late 1800s when European hunters decided to spice things up. Bored with chasing deer, they imported Eurasian wild boars, possibly from Germany's Black Forest, to hunting grounds in New Hampshire and beyond. These guys were like, "Deer are so last century. Let's hunt some hardcore hogs." The imported boars hooked up with the local feral pigs, creating a super tough, super rowdy hybrid, like mixing Monster Energy with espresso. These hogs didn't just survive. They conquered every terrain from dense forests to wide open prairies. But here's the real kicker. Some of America's wild hogs started as farm pigs. Back in the day, farmers let their pigs roam free, like giving them a gap year to find themselves. Some of these pigs went full rebel, ditching the farm life for the wild side. Within a few generations, they grew bristly hair, sprouted tusks, and became legit wild hogs. Imagine a farm pig looking in a puddle, saying, "Screw this, I'm going full Mad Max." This going feral process turned cuddly porkers into a gang of chaos-causing hogs ready to rumble. Genetically, wild hogs trace back to Southeast Asia from the early Pleistocene, spreading across Eurasia and North Africa. The ones in America are descendants of European boars and domesticated pigs, packing a genetic combo that makes them tougher than a $2 steak. In a funny way, they're like ecological superheroes minus the capes plus a whole lot of attitude. Humans can only sigh and say, "Hogs, why you gotta be so good at surviving?" Today, 6 million wild hogs are tearing it up across 35 states, with Texas as their main stage. That's more fans than a Taylor Swift concert. They're not just wildlife. They're the ultimate nightmare for farmers, hunters, and anyone who just wants to hike without a hog chase scene. The havoc of wild hogs, living plows and epic pranks. Wild hogs aren't just numerous. They're the kings of chaos with a rap sheet longer than a summer blockbuster. They breed like crazy, outsmart traps, and wreck everything like they've got a personal vendetta. Here's a rundown of their greatest hits, with some jokes to keep you grinning through the madness. Economic damage. Hogs, crushing farmers' dreams since 1493. Wild hogs are nicknamed living plows because they love digging up dirt for snacks. They turn cornfields, wheat crops, and soybean patches into post-apocalyptic wastelands, leaving farmers ready to cry into their overalls. Experts estimate they cause $2.5 billion in damages yearly to agriculture, forestry, and livestock. That's enough cash to buy a private island, or at least a really nice tractor. Texas farmers probably have nightmares of hogs laughing maniacally, chanting, "Your crops are ours." But wait, there's more. Hogs don't stop at crops. They smash fences, wreck irrigation systems, and even mess up roads and levees. Imagine spending all weekend building a shiny new fence, only to wake up and find it trashed because a hog gang decided to throw a midnight rave. They don't just destroy, they do it with style, like they're auditioning for a disaster movie and yelling, "This is our turf, humans." Environmental impact. Hogs, nature's worst landscapers. Wild hogs are an environmental wrecking crew. Their digging sprees erode soil, wipe out native plants, and turn habitats for deer, elk, and birds into barren moonscapes. The mud and poop from their redecorating pollute rivers and lakes, making water sources grosser than a gas station bathroom. If there were an award for worst landscaper ever, wild hogs would win it hooves down. They also gobble up food that native critters need, leaving deer and squirrels whining, "Hogs, can you at least leave us some acorns?" Spreading disease. Hogs, germ-spreading party animals. These hogs aren't just vandals, they're walking biohazards. They carry diseases like brucellosis, which causes fever and weight loss, leptospirosis, which can mess up your organs, and streptococcus suis, which might land you in the hospital with meningitis if you eat undercooked hog meat. It's like they're throwing a germ party and everyone's invited, whether they like it or not. They also pass diseases to livestock, making ranchers want to scream, "Hogs, you're killing my vibe and my cows." In rural areas, spotting a hog near your cattle is enough to make you lose sleep for a month. Baby-making machines. Hogs, the ultimate family planners. Wild hogs breed so fast it's like they're competing for a world record. Sows can get pregnant at 6 months, popping out 6 piglets per litter and managing 1.5 litters a year. Do the math. One pair of hogs can spawn a whole hog army in a few years. With no wolves or bears to keep them in check in most of America, they're living their best life. If hogs had a dating app, their bio would read, "Loves long walks, digging, and making lots of babies." They're the ultimate family planners, just not the kind humans appreciate. Danger to humans. Hogs, the forest's toughest gangsters. Hogs don't just wreck stuff, they can throw down. With razor-sharp tusks, boars will charge if they feel threatened. Hunters have shared stories of sprinting from angry hogs, feeling like they're in a low-budget horror flick. Hogs also wander into suburbs and highways, causing accidents and chaos. Picture cruising down the road when a hog darts out. Your only thought is, "Bro, are you training for the Olympics?" Eating hog meat that's not properly cooked can also make you sick, turning a barbecue into a trip to the ER. Messing with wild hogs is like picking a fight with the forest's toughest gang. Fighting back. Humans versus hogs, the ultimate showdown. Americans aren't letting these hogs run the show. They're fighting back with everything from guns to gourmet recipes. But hogs are smart, making this battle feel like a chess match against furry grandmasters. Here's how humans are tackling the hog invasion, with a side of humor to keep it fun. Hunting and trapping. Hogs, you can't outrun us forever. Hunting is the go-to weapon against wild hogs. In Texas, it's open season year-round, with hunters using rifles, bows, and even helicopters. Yep, picture a cowboy in a chopper yelling, "Yeehaw, hogs in my sights." Ranches like Broken Arrow in Texas trap hogs and sell their meat, turning a pest into profit. New Mexico dropped $1 million on hunting and trapping programs. That's enough for a blockbuster called Hogpocalypse Now. But hogs are sly. If they escape a trap once, they're like, "Nice try, humans. Catch me never." Turning hogs into dinner. From foe to food, some clever folks are turning the tables by eating the enemy. In Austin, places like Die Do restaurants serve up hog meat as a sustainable delicacy. It's like saying, "You wrecked my farm. Now you're my pulled pork sandwich." But the meat has to be carefully checked to avoid diseases. Nobody wants a side of brucellosis with their barbecue. This approach is peak. If you can't beat M, eat M. Though the hogs probably aren't thrilled about their new role on the menu. Research and management. Outsmarting the smartest hogs. The USDA and wildlife experts are working overtime to outwit these hogs. They're testing high-tech traps, sedatives, and even hog-specific poisons. But hogs learn fast, dodging traps like they've got a PhD in evasion. Scientists are probably like, "Hogs, did you take an IQ test behind our backs?" States are also educating folks, urging them to report hog sightings. It's a team effort. Farmers, hunters, and researchers uniting like the Avengers to take down Team Hog. Cultural impact. Hogs, the unlikely pop culture icons. Wild hogs have become more than just a pest. They're practically celebrities. In Texas, hog hunting is a full-on lifestyle, with TV shows, YouTube channels, and even festivals celebrating the chase. Think Duck Dynasty, but with more tusks. Social media is full of hog hunting memes, like pictures of hogs with captions like, "When your boss says dig deeper," but you take it too literally. Some folks even call hogs the ultimate survivalists, admiring their grit while cursing their chaos. It's a love-hate relationship, American style. Economic opportunities. Hog hunting, a booming business. Believe it or not, wild hogs have sparked a mini economy. Guided hog hunts are big business, with outfitters charging hundreds for a weekend of tracking and shooting. It's like a safari, but instead of lions, you're after a 300-pound porker. Meat processors are cashing in too, supplying hog bacon and sausage to adventurous foodies. In a weird way, hogs are creating jobs. Though farmers might say, "Great, but can they stop trashing my fields first?" Wrapping it up, hogs, a hilarious lesson in nature's revenge. Wild hogs in America are a wild ride of a story. From Columbus's runaway pigs to today's 6 million strong hog army. They trash crops, ruin ecosystems, spread germs, and give humans a run for their money. But they also remind us, mess with nature, and you might end up with a tusk-wielding problem. Americans are fighting back with hunts, traps, recipes, and a surprising amount of hog-inspired humor. This isn't just a wildlife issue. It's a comedy, action, and drama rolled into one, starring the toughest critters in the woods. So, here's to hoping we can laugh about wild hogs one day instead of yelling, "Not the hogs again!" Wild hogs in America. Environmental chaos, disease disasters, and a hilarious fight for control. Wild hogs, aka feral pigs or boars, Suscrofa, aren't just a thorn in America's side. They're the ultimate pranksters of the animal kingdom, turning pristine landscapes into pig pens and giving farmers, wildlife, and even suburbanites a run for their money. With 6 million of these tusk terrors tearing through 35 states, Texas being their unofficial headquarters, think Hog Central. They're not just a pest. They're a full-blown saga of destruction and dark comedy. Below, we'll dive into their environmental havoc, disease-spreading antics, explosive population growth, and the human counterattack, all spiced up with some good old American humor to keep things from getting too grim. Let's roll. Environmental impact. Hogs, nature's lousiest landscapers. Wild hogs are the archenemies of ecosystems everywhere. With their relentless digging, they churn up soil like overzealous bulldozers, causing erosion and wiping out native plants faster than you can say, bad landscaping. Habitats for deer, elk, birds, and other critters get turned into something straight out of a post-apocalyptic flick. Think Mad Max, but with more mud. The churned-up dirt, mixed with hog poop, washes into rivers and lakes, turning clean water into a nasty stew nobody wants to drink. If there were an Oscar for Worst Environmental Designer, wild hogs would be strutting down the red carpet, tusks gleaming. These hogs are also food hogs, pun intended, scarfing down everything from plants to bugs to small animals. They're like the ultimate buffet crashers, leaving native species like deer, squirrels, and rabbits whining, "Yo, hogs, can you leave us a crumb or two?" Their eating spree throws ecosystems out of whack, making life tougher for every critter trying to survive. Picture a squirrel shaking its tiny fist at a hog, muttering, "You're not invited to my acorn party, pal." To make matters worse, their digging disrupts soil microbes and nutrient cycles, which is science speak for they're screwing up the dirt in ways we can't even fully explain. In places like Texas wetlands, hogs have turned delicate marshes into muddy messes, threatening endangered species and making conservationists pull their hair out. It's like the hogs are saying, preserve nature? Nah, we'd rather redecorate it, hog style. Spreading disease. Hogs, germ-slinging party crashers. Wild hogs don't just wreck the land. They're like walking petri dishes, spreading diseases that make both humans and animals wish they'd never met. They carry a nasty lineup of bugs, including brucellosis, which hits you with fever and fatigue, leptospirosis, which can trash your liver and kidneys, and Streptococcus suis, a real charmer that can cause meningitis if you chow down on undercooked hog meat. It's like they're throwing a germ rave and handing out free tickets to everyone. Humans, cows, you name it, in a twisted way. They're the worst kind of doctors prescribing misery without a license. Nobody's signing up for that appointment. Ranchers are especially fed up, as hogs spread these diseases to livestock, tanking profits and stressing out entire herds. Imagine a farmer spotting a hog near his cattle and yelling, "Get out of here, you furry plague machine!" In rural areas, a single hog sighting near a barn is enough to keep folks up at night, wondering if their animals are next. And it's not just farm animals. Hunters and hikers can catch these diseases from handling hogs or wading through contaminated water. One wrong step in a hog-tainted stream, and you're Googling, "Why do I feel like death?" The kicker? These diseases can linger in the environment, making hog-infested areas a long-term health hazard. It's like the hogs are leaving behind a parting gift. Thanks for hosting us. Here's some bacteria to remember us by. Public health officials are constantly on alert, warning folks to steer clear of hog meat unless it's cooked to a crisp. Forget medium rare with these guys, unless you want a side of hospital stay with your bacon. Population explosion. Hogs, the baby-making MVPs. Wild hogs breed so fast, it's like they're auditioning for a reality show called Extreme Family Planning. Sows can start popping out piglets at just 6 months old, cranking out 6 babies per litter and managing about 1.5 litters a year. Do the math. One hog couple can spawn a whole hog dynasty in a few years, like a furry version of a family reunion gone wild, without natural predators like wolves or bears in most of America. These hogs are living the dream, multiplying faster than gossip at a small-town diner. If they had a motto, it'd be, "Make babies, make chaos repeat." Their baby-making prowess is why controlling them feels like trying to bail out a sinking ship with a teaspoon. Even if you trap a bunch, another litter's already on the way. It's like they're mocking us, saying, "You thought you got us? Meet our 12 new kids." In states like Texas, where hog populations are densest, farmers joke that you can't turn your back for 5 minutes without a new hog family moving in. If hogs ran a business, they'd be the world's top baby factory, churning out piglets like nobody's business. Danger to humans. Hogs, the forest's meanest bouncers. Wild hogs aren't just destructive, they're downright dangerous. Armed with tusks sharper than a chef's knife, boars will charge if they feel cornered, turning a peaceful hike into a scene from Jaws. Hunters have swapped stories of sprinting from angry hogs, hearts pounding like they're in a low-budget thriller. One guy probably swore he heard the hog growl, "You're in my woods now, buddy." These attacks, while rare, can leave folks with serious injuries and a lifelong fear of anything with bristles. Hogs also love crashing the suburbs, wandering into backyards or darting across highways. Imagine cruising down the interstate when a 300-pound hog bolts out. You're slamming the brakes, yelling, "Dude, are you late for the Hog Olympics?" These run-ins cause accidents and rack up repair bills, not to mention the sheer panic of dodging a tusk tank. And don't even think about eating hog meat without cooking it to oblivion. Raw or rare hog is a one-way ticket to Germville, with diseases like brucellosis waiting to ruin your day. Bottom line, picking a fight with a wild hog is like challenging a biker gang to a duel. Bad idea. Fighting back. Humans versus. Hogs, the Great American Showdown. Americans aren't sitting back while hogs turn their land into a pigsty. They're hitting back with everything from high-powered rifles to high-tech traps. But these hogs are smarter than your average critter, making this fight feel like a chess match against furry Einsteins. Here's how we're tackling the hog invasion, with a dose of humor to keep it lively. Hunting and trapping. Hogs, your days are numbered. Hunting is the frontline defense against wild hogs. In Texas, it's open season 24/7, with hunters wielding rifles, bows, and, get this, helicopters. Picture a cowboy in a chopper, shades on, yelling, "Time to send these hogs to bacon heaven." Ranches like Broken Arrow trap hogs and sell their meat, turning a nuisance into a paycheck. New Mexico shelled out $1 million for hunting and trapping programs, enough to fund a Hollywood blockbuster called Hogmageddon. But hogs are crafty. Escape a trap once, and they're like, "Nice try, humans. I'm basically Houdini now." From foe to fork, eat your enemy. Some clever folks are flipping the script by turning hogs into dinner. In Austin, restaurants like Die do serve up hog meat as a gourmet treat, proving you can fight pests and eat well too. The menu might as well read, "Wild hog," from crop wrecker to mouth-watering barbecue. But this meat needs serious vetting. Disease risks mean you can't just toss it on the grill half-cooked. One wrong move, and your farm-to-table meal becomes a farm-to-hospital nightmare. This approach is pure genius. Can't beat 'em? Eat 'em. Though the hogs are probably grumbling, "We didn't sign up for this." Research and management. Outsmarting the brainiac hogs. The USDA and wildlife experts are pulling out all the stops, testing smart traps, sedatives, and even hog-specific toxins. But these hogs are sharp, dodging traps like they've got a degree in tactical evasion. Scientists are probably muttering, "Did these hogs ace an IQ test we don't know about?" States are also rallying communities, urging folks to report hog sightings like they're spotting UFOs. Farmers, hunters, and researchers are teaming up like the Avengers, ready to take down Team Hog. It's a full-on war, and we're not backing down. Cultural phenomenon. Hogs, America's unlikely superstars. Wild hogs have gone from pests to pop culture icons. In Texas, hog hunting is a lifestyle, spawning TV shows, YouTube channels, and even festivals. It's like Duck Dynasty with more tusks and testosterone. Social media's buzzing with hog memes. Think a hog pic caption, when your therapist says dig deep, but you take it literally. Some folks even admire hogs as ultimate survivalists, though farmers might add, "Yeah, survive somewhere else." This love-hate vibe is peak American, only we turn a pest into a celebrity. Economic boom. Hogs, fueling a wild industry. Hogs are accidentally boosting the economy. Guided hog hunts are a hot ticket, with outfitters charging big bucks for a weekend of tracking and shooting. It's like a safari, but your trophy's a grumpy pig instead of a lion. Meat processors are cashing in, churning out hog bacon and sausage for adventurous eaters. Even taxidermists are getting in on the action, stuffing hogs for proud hunters' man caves. Farmers might grumble, "Great, but can you pay for my trashed fields?" Still, hogs are creating jobs in the wildest way possible. Community efforts. Hog-free zones? Coming soon? Local communities are stepping up, forming hog task forces to patrol and protect their land. Schools are teaching kids about the hog problem, turning it into a science lesson with a side of action. Some towns even host hog rodeos, where locals compete to trap the most hogs, think county fair, but with more mud and squealing. These grassroots efforts show America's grit. We're not letting a bunch of pigs run our show. Plus, it's a chance to bond over a shared enemy. Nothing says community like a hog hunting barbecue. Wrapping it up, hogs, a riotous reminder of nature's revenge. Wild hogs are America's wildest soap opera, turning fields into chaos, spreading germs, and breeding like they're on a mission to take over. They're a living lesson. Mess with nature, and you might get a tusk tornado in return. But Americans are fighting back with hunts, traps, recipes, and a surprising amount of hog-fueled humor. From environmental disasters to cultural icons, hogs are rewriting the rules of wildlife drama. Here's hoping we'll one day chuckle about these furry fiends instead of shouting, "Not the hogs again!" Until then, keep your boots on and your wits sharp. Those hogs aren't messing around.